Hello everyone, I'm Relentlessly. We are back again talking about how Split Fiction seems to have made an absolute anti-woke grifter, who I believe is also an actual anti-woke grifter, put into absolute meltdown mode. Now this is a guy who literally claims that Split Fiction is woke, a new game from Hazelight Studios coming from Joseph Fares, you know, the guy who flipped off people and said that screw the Oscars. He basically flipped off the Oscars at the Game Awards. That guy. The same guy who created Brothers, A Way Out, It Takes Two, and now he's created Split Fiction, and it seems like a lot of people are enjoying the game just like they enjoyed all the previous titles, including It Takes Two, that won Game of the Year in 2021. Crazy how a big indie game, or small indie game, I should say, could win Game of the Year in 2021. Not that I really care about the Game Awards. I really don't care about that at all. What I care about mostly is my opinion when it comes to a video game. But this clown, by the name of George Games, who I really truly believe is a tourist in gaming and an absolute grifter. I'm going to keep saying it because he is the actual definition of a grifter. He's already been exposed before for using fake farming engagement on Twitter in order to gain people on his side, which now he's blaming Smash JT for losing followers after saying nonsense online. So let's get into this article here from SmashJT.com. It says, Split Fiction's success puts anti-woke grifter in absolute meltdown mode. Split Fiction is really confusing the heck out of some of these anti-woke quote-unquote Christian grifters out there, and I gotta be honest, I'm absolutely here for it. Specifically, George Games. George is having a bit of a coping session on social media these days, with many doubling and tripling down on opinions that no one, save for a few loonies out there, seems to share, and for good reason. After nearly 7 hours of playing the game with Hypnotic on live streams so far, I can confidently say that I am completely addicted, says SmashGT. I covered this game previously, focusing mostly on the creator Joseph Fares and how it wasn't the least bit woke whatsoever. And while I did initially receive some weak pushback from a certain segment of the community, the vast majority of gamers out there received it well. But now, as the game has surpassed 250,000 concurrent players on Steam alone and celebrates selling over 2 million copies in just 48 hours, which is absolutely crazy for an indie title, the seething and coping from certain detractors is hitting an all-time high. Take Your Choice Gaming for an example, a journalist, quote-unquote, who seems to have gone completely off the deep end. He recently took to X to let the world know, gamers, two dudes playing Split Fiction is the very definition of ultra lame and gay. Real men play Gears of War in co-op. My guy, Gears of War came out in 2006. That's almost 20 years ago. Do y'all feel old yet? Gears of War came out in 2006. People have already gone and done and played that game many, many times, including the remaster, which I've played through every single Gears of War game in co-op. So, what are we talking about here? People want to play newer games in co-op. The game is meant to be played in co-op. In a separate post, he claimed the game should be boycotted simply because it has female protagonists, bizarrely defaulting to calling the reason feminism, because you're a clown. He goes on to say, oh, I did. It even added his feminist slop to March's non-binary list. He can get all the inspiration from where he wants, but the game is being promoted as feminist slop. No, it's not. And my golden rule never fails. If it looks feminist and talks feminist and walks feminist, the game is feminist. This is literally the most retarded argument I've ever seen for a video game. Meanwhile, he likes to praise characters like Samus Aran and Lara Croft. Yeah, I guarantee he's never played those games. He's never played Metroid. He's never played Tomb Raider. Plus, the female characters are totally missing the mark in the beauty department. Not all female characters have to look good. Yes, most people like characters to look good. But again, these two characters are based off of his daughters. So he can make the characters look however he wants. It doesn't matter as long as the gameplay is fun. Sure, some may say, oh, come on, this isn't woke, but many of us already developed a sense for wokeness and don't want any of that in our games. Who is we? Who is us? Because you're not part of the we or the us. You're one of those clowns who is trying to grift off this movement. Just like a certain furry. Anyway, Split Fiction is non-binary simply because of feminism. My guy. You are a clown. And I've had run-ins with you before. You never respond to me because you know you can't really show any proof of you actually playing a video game at all. I can. And if that wasn't enough, here's another gem from George. Uninspiring gameplay, lame female characters, rampant feminism, no need to waste time and money on split fiction. You've never played the game, you've probably never watched anybody play the game. There are too many good games out there, then stop complaining about this and go play those games. We know you're not going to do that because you're trying to grift off of this, even though there's nothing woke about it, it would seem, and you're just, I guess, bored. The man has completely lost the plot, but that doesn't stop his post from continuing. Gamers, what happened to masculinity in gaming? Co-op gaming in 2008, Gears of War 2. Again, everybody who wanted to play Gears of War 2 co-op has already played Gears of War 2 co-op. By the way, it's 2025, not 2024. You screwed up your own meme, by the way, which is something that Smash AT didn't catch. This man screwed up his own meme while trying to make fun of other people wanting to play a video game. The reality is that a certain subsection of gamers have hijacked the quote-unquote anti-woke movement, turning it into a crusade where anything featuring women or minorities gets labeled as quote-unquote woke propaganda. It's such a predictable cycle that at this point it's already beyond dumb. Clearly his intent with all this is to draw attention and engagement from it. It's clearly working because here I am covering it. But here's the thing. This kind of approach is exactly what destroys potential great figures in the community and exposes them for exactly who they are. Sure, they get a bump in attention and eyeballs initially, but once people learn who they are, that attention fades as fast as it appeared. Of course, you got JDA is also a huge-ass fraud in the gaming space, but this clown also made this absolute trash meme, saying, gamers, we used to have higher standards for co-op games. Reject modernity, split fiction, embrace tradition, Army of Two. And I said, pull up your achievement list and show the world you actually played Army of Two. I played all 3 Army of Two games. The first one being the best. I played all 3 of them in co-op on my Xbox. So I could show that I actually played those games. Not just talking out of my ass like this guy is. But he also goes on to say, gamers, I've been losing followers significantly after Smash's video. I don't want any followers who are lukewarm about what is woke and what isn't. Split fiction isn't woke. That's why it's selling so much. I don't want any followers who safe to attack games like AC Shadows, but as soon as a game with feminist and woke content gets popular, they go and defend it desperately like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and Split Fiction. Once again, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 isn't woke because there's a option to go down that gay path. I understand you want to project your homosexuality onto other people, similar to JDA, but if you don't click those buttons to go down that path, you will not go down that path. If you can't handle the truth about what a conservative gamer stands for, unfollow me now. Well, it seems like people are unfollowing you, and you've said it to multiple people in here. You do know what he means by that, right? You don't demand a follow, you earn it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to connect only with gamers that hold your own values. It's weird to think that gamers should only hold your values and attack other gamers. Well, maybe it's you who doesn't know the difference, and that's why people are calling you out. Just a thought. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. You're literally telling people to unfollow you, bro. Like what are we doing? Like, what are you honestly doing? You're calling Smash AT a grifter, Smash is trash. You don't play video games either. Judging by your content on Twitter, you don't play video games either. None of you clowns play video games like you claim to. You got this person here. I'm no conservative gamer at all. Unfollow me. I don't want you here. This is exactly what developers do, you clown. But you went on to describe 5 reasons the game is feminist slop. Oh my god, it's bad. Uninspiring female protagonist. Art direction has suffered greatly during the woke era. New Western IPs seem to focus on realism instead of creativity, and that's why Split Fiction's character models don't really inspire you to play the game. Again, the characters are inspired by the man's daughters, you absolute clown. Imagine a father wanting to put his daughters in a video game, and you being upset about that. The emphasis on emotional character development, they're women. Have you ever interacted with a woman before? Games should be all about fun, but Split Fiction thinks it's a great idea for the two feminist protagonists to better understand each other, help them cope with flaws, and open up to others, like normal human beings do. Bro, it's like you've never talked to another human before. The dialogue. How are we supposed to get out of here if we don't start to trust each other? Follow my lead, get ready to flank him. Oh, shut up to a male character. Okay. What's wrong with this? And you probably just watched the trailer. You've never actually played the game or watched anyone else play the game. The director's reaction to the game is woke comments and the show media talking about it. By the way, it wasn't the game was woke. It was the game is feminist propaganda. So please, use the correct quotes when you're trying to quote somebody else. By the way, this is part of a 3-minute video where he's reacting to a bunch of YouTube comments. And journalist decided to take this one comment out of all the comments that he reacted to in this video. Around the game's release, Joseph Fares, director of Split Fiction, reacted to YouTube comments. He was clearly defensive when one gamer, it's not really a gamer, it's probably just some random saying a bunch of nonsense online, by the way, called the game another feminism propaganda-soaked game. If the game wasn't feminist, he could have calmly explained why the game wasn't feminist, but he didn't. I mean, it's his game. He's allowed to react any way he wants to. He's kind of just reacting the same way he reacts to anything else. Fares even went on a rant about his daughters inspiring him for the game, which is great. No one can have an argument against such a noble inspiration. Meanwhile, you say the characters are uninspired looking, and you know this. But his emotionally charged answer to a legitimate comment was definitely concerning. It's not a legitimate comment when the game isn't soaked with feminism propaganda. You freaking moron. The show media didn't wait a second to talk about. Of course they didn't, because they're show media. They want to downplay this game because it's obviously fun and appeals to gamers. Because journalists don't give a crap about real gamers. And then the game's villain, you guessed it, a white Caucasian man. Wow, because there's never been a white Caucasian man that's been a villain before. What are we talking about here, bro? There's been plenty of games where where a white Caucasian male is the villain. What are we going on about? He even calls himself God, and of course the female protagonists rebel against God. Bro, this has nothing to do with wokeness at all. There's no propaganda from either side in this game. It's just a good game. And this is how he reacted poorly.
Feminism propaganda. So what the fuck is this? I guess that somebody are reacting that there are 2 women. Let me say this. In Brothers, there were 2 guys. In A Way Out, there were 2 guys. In It Takes Two, there were 1 guy, 1 woman. And now there are 2 girls and everybody's complaining. Come on, man. I mean, let's face it, man. And it's also like based on my daughters. I don't care what you have between your legs. That's totally not interesting for me. Good characters is what's important. Then Terrence.
That sounds like a normal take to me. Yorch Torch dummy. That clearly sounds like a based and normal take to me. The game... Let's hear that last part again.
Man, and it's also like based on my daughters. I don't care what you have between your legs. That's totally not interesting for me. Good characters is what's important. Then Terrence.
There you go. So for you to sit up here and say that somebody is getting upset about a comment, one comment from some random, bro, a guy is acting normal, like, man, get out of here. You are an absolute grifter. You don't play video games, just like JDA's clown ass. None of you guys play video games. I'm a game dev. You work for Fandom Post, the most clown show freaking website out there. Get the hell out of here, bro. I thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like the video, hit the like button. Comment below what you feel about all this. How do you feel about this absolute clown show going on here? Are you going to be picking up Split Fiction? And let me know if you are. And let me know how it is when you do, or if you have played it. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or go live on the channel. And I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.